Planeswalkers, Black Blue Devotion. You see the light totals there, 14-16. And now we will zoom in on the match, and it looks like Rubin's doing pretty well for himself right now.
Yeah, he's got some threats, and Finney doesn't have a hand, and that's always where you want to be with the Black Devotion deck.
This is true. It has been, looks like it's been shredded apart. There's a Desecration Demon out there, Pack Rat as well. Looks like Finney just has a Temple of Abandon tapped, so likely scryed the last turn and then the Sylvan Caryatid, but it looks like no cards in his hand.
Yeah, and we do see a negate in Rubin's graveyard alongside 2 Thoughtseizes, and those cards are fantastic in this matchup.
Shred that hand, counter your relevant spell, and kill you before you can get back into it.
Yeah,
Looks to be the plan.
Unfortunately for this Jund deck, 32 mana sources in most builds.
That is a lot. That is a lot of those.
Have you ever played 32 mana sources in your entire life?
Oh yeah, I used to play Lands and Legacy.
Yeah, okay, I remember that.
Also, I think another deck that you had me play, the Confinement deck, probably had that much mana.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So at least twice. I like mana though.
Mana's nice.
I love mana, so.
Get all your colors, get to play whatever you want.
I don't mind drawing too much. If I draw too few, I get annoyed because I can't cast my spells.
Sure.
The Finney at 8 here. Rubin with a really, really nice board. Added Nightveil Spectre to it. Not sure what Finney's draw was, but it's going to have to be a pretty good one to get him out of this situation. That's a Putrefy to take care of the Desecration Demon. That's one step in the right direction.
Yeah, I felt like Mizzium Mortars had to be involved some way to come back in this game, but that doesn't deal with the demon, so alongside that, he does need a hard removal spell, and basically, like, the order he draws them in doesn't really matter. But
yeah, it's like Mizzium Mortars has to be next turn.
Right.
And that'll actually give him a shot. Rubin, you can see his hand. He's got a Pack Rat over there in Underworld Connections, and I believe a Watery Grave is the other card. So he's going to start by attacking for 2 here with the Spectre. Finney's going to go down to 6. There will be a trigger, so there's a Courser of Perfects. Now it's time for Underworld Connections in case he needs to go a little bit longer. We'll activate that right away, going down to 15. In the process, we'll play the Watery Grave tapped and pass the turn back. Does Finney have Mizzium Mortars off the top of his deck? Looks like that hand will be passing the turn. In just a moment, Mutavault says, let's get into the red zone here. Put you down to 13, and then pass it back.
That's important, I think. It's very easy for someone in Finney's situation to just be like, oh, this game's going terribly, go. But that 2 points there could matter if he does draw something like Mizzium Mortars and like can actually start climbing back in the game while Rubin's dealing himself the connections damage.
Rubin picked up another copy of Underworld Connections for the turn. We'll see what Steve wants to do here. Very methodical in his ways, not moving too quickly. Wants to make sure he can close this game out in the necessary turns, not give Finney any extra draw steps.
Yeah, it's like, I'm ahead. What can I possibly lose to?
Pretty much.
What could you have?
I'm sure that Mizzium Mortars is on the radar. I'm trying to figure out if there are ways to close out this game so that Mortars isn't something that happens. Gonna play another Pack Rat here, and he will serve in. So Pack Rat is going to be blocked by Sylvan Caryatid. Will Rubin activate this Pack Rat? Looks like the answer is no. So trigger, Temple of Abandon. That'll come into play, so Rubin will get the scry. And that card's gonna go to the bottom. Rubin's hand right now is a Lifebane Zombie as well. That's a Temple of Malice. It's like a fast draw. Looks like that was the second card. Yeah, a little bit of an accident there. So we will get that cleaned up here in just a moment. We'll see what the judge's ruling will be. Clearly an accident. Don't know if Finney saw the actual card he was going to draw. So maybe Temple of Malice becomes his draw. Not sure. Might be a forced shuffle. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a forced shuffle, and they're going to leave one of the cards in the bottom because that card was scribed to the bottom.
Yep.
And Finney has not shuffled his deck yet. So this is a common way to correct this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when something like that happens, and it's like, well, do you know the order of like any of the cards in your library? It's like, well, I don't remember how many times I scribed this game.
Yeah.
I played 5 temples.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I don't know if I put them all in the bottom or not.
Yeah.
Looks like we are fixed. This is the draw. It's a Dreadbore.
So certainly not the worst draw, but not what he needs, because those Pack Rats are going to outpace him very quickly.
Yeah, it might be time to chump block here. Yep, gonna discard the Underworld Connections to make a pack rat.
Yeah, but think there are going to be 3-4 power creatures coming in with only 2 blockers.
Yep. Turn them all sideways. Activate a Mutavault here. Block there, block there. Do you activate? Gonna activate Underworld Connections first. Make sure he's discarding the right card. And you have to imagine that Steve is gonna go for it here. Almost no reason not to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Discard Lifebane Zombie, an extension of the hand. Steve Rubin is going to win this match over Michael Finney, 2-1. Black Blue Devotion takes down Jund Planeswalkers again. So if you're a fan of the Planeswalker strategy, it is not moving on to the semifinals this morning. Stupid Thoughtseize deck.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that deck could do to get to be better. Like, I feel like Monsters was pretty good in that matchup. They were a little more robust, had more threats, things like Domri Rod, not as much removal. They just had like enough removal to maybe kill